is not stranger than we think. It's stranger than we can think. Quantum theory has changed everything because what was a mechanical external universe has now become a web of intelligence. In this environment, astrology makes sense. In this environment of communication, of information that is not just about seeing things, all of a sudden astrology again fits into the scientific paradigm. You see, our sense organs perceive everything as vibration. If we hear something, we're hearing frequencies. When we hear a note like A below middle C, we're hearing 440 cycles per second. An octave higher is twice that frequency, or 880 cycles per second. When we see something like the color red or the color green, we're seeing a particular frequency of electromagnetic radiation. And it turns out that the visible spectrum is a very narrow slit in a very large, perhaps infinitely large band of frequency vibration. What we see as visible light, Newton showed came from invisible white light. And through a prism, we saw that invisible light become red, orange, yellow, blue, green, indigo, violet. However, we've now learned that higher frequency than violet, ultraviolet, can be seen by some animals. Bees, for example, with their eyes can see ultraviolet. Snakes, with their eyes, and some other reptiles, can see infra to red, or infrared. They see heat. We feel infrared as heat. But in fact, lower frequency than infrared takes us through a band of waves that include radio waves, short waves, that include power wave distribution, 60 cycles per second that come through our power outlets in this country, or 50 cycles a second in Europe. Higher frequency than violet, ultraviolet, includes waves that are so fast that go up to gamma radiation, that are so high frequency that they pass right through Earth without even noticing that there's something solid there. It's my contention that planet waves are not separate from the electromagnetic spectrum. Science has become real good at instrumenting electromagnetic radiation, but only in high enough frequencies where they can get repetitive signals. You see, the problem with instrumenting perception of a Saturn wave is that instead of happening in gigahertz or megahertz or kilohertz, it's happening only 3 cycles per century. So how do we get a device that will tell us that can hear a Saturn wave if we only get 1 beat every 29 and a half years? It becomes an interesting dilemma from a scientific point of view. And yet, if you look at planets, we see up there, we